Hello students, welcome back. As we have discussed our two key features of Indian Constitution, that is the federalism and the parliamentary form of government. Now let's discuss the separation of power. Let's discuss our third key feature of separation of power. Separation of powers. According to the Constitution of India, there are three organs, and these organs are responsible for administering and implementing the law. These organs of the governments are of government. First is legislature, second is executive, and third is judiciary. Alright, the legislature that make law, executive implement the law, judiciary that illustrate the law. Alright, the legislature, it includes the parliament, and the Indian parliament that comprises lower house, upper house, and president. Lower house, Lok Sabha, upper house, Rajya Sabha, and president that have a right to summon these two houses and have right to dissolve the this Lok Sabha. Alright, the executive, it include the president, the Prime Minister of India, and Council of Ministers. And judiciary, it includes Supreme Court of India. Alright, the legislature, it refers to the elective representative of India that makes law, and executive, these people are responsible for implementing the law or running the government, and judiciary, it has that right to illustrate and to explain these law that has passed from these houses. So, in order to protect the misuse of this power, our constitution says that each of these organs will have their different powers. Alright, now we will discuss our next key feature of Indian Constitution. Now we will discuss the four key features of the Indian Constitution, that is the fundamental rights. the Constitution guarantees some basic fundamental rights to its citizens. These are indispensable. It means these are essential for the human being and no government can take these rights from them. The section of the fundamental right have been referred to as the conscience, means the fundamental rights that often has been referred to as the conscience means that it is the part of the mind that tells us what is right and what is wrong. Learning from past experience of colonial rule, and what we did, we learned from the past experience of colonial rule. As there was the rule of the colonial, the Britishers, they forced the Indian people to obey their rules and they faced lot of discrimination
and inequality.
Colonial rule had created a suspension on the mind of the nationalist. So the constitution maker wanted to ensure a set of written rights that would guard against the misuse of the state. Moreover, the minorities communities have also expressed their need for the constitution that include the right of the people of the minority so that these people can protect their groups, as therefore the fundamental right guarantees the right to minorities against the majority. Okay, as we have seen that when there was no law, or still wherever there is a law, the most of the people, they are facing the discrimination because of the being the minority. As we have studied discuss the story of the boys and girls, where the girls were in a minority and the boys, they were in a majority. So all the decisions that were taken, it is biased to the boys and against the girls.
What are fundamental rights? The fundamental rights are defined as the basic human rights of the citizens. The Constitution of India guaranteed elaborate fundamental right to its citizens in Part 3 of the Constitution. So, it is very essential for an individual for his all-round development.
So, now we will discuss the most important fundamental right that the Constitution has given us.
These fundamental rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, rights to constitutional remedies. Now let's first discuss about the right to equality.
So let's discuss our first fundamental right, that is the right to equality. The right to equality means all persons are equal in front of the law. That means the all persons shall be treated equally by the law of our country and no one can be discriminated on the basis of their caste, religion, sex. Alright, and all the people should have the right to access any of the place, either playground, wall, and any of the mall or any of the public places. So let's understand more about the right to equality.
According to the Article 14, all people are equal in front of the law. According to the Article 15, no one can be discriminated on the basis of their religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or any of them. Article 16 tells us that there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. Article 17 or 18 tell us that abolition of untouchability or abolition of all textile except military and academic respectively.
So now we will discuss the second fundamental right, that is the right to freedom. As this fundamental right states that the right of speech, of expression, all the people are free to give speech or expression, and the right to form association. Okay, all the people are free to make the association. However, the state can impose some restriction on the interest of public. Alright, the right to move freely, as all the people have right to move freely all over the country, but however, the country, the state can impose some restriction on the interest of public or the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. For example, that in the epidemic, it is restricted to go one place from another and to travel one place to another. Then the right to practice any of the profession, all the people are free to choose any of the profession, any of the occupation or any of the business.
Article 19 that talks about the right to freedom. It includes the amendment guarantees 6 basic and valuable freedoms to the citizen of India.
Now discuss the third fundamental right, that is the right against exploitation. Our constitution that prohibits the human trafficking, means no man can be buy or sell any of the person in the country, or the forced labor, no one can buy or sell any of the person for their lifetime or force them to do the work without their will. And it also prohibits the employment of children under 14 years of age. So let's know more about the right against exploitation.
Under Article 23 of the Indian Constitution, it protects both the citizens and the non-citizens against exploitation. It protects individuals against the state as well as private citizens.
Let's discuss the 4 fundamental rights of our constitution, that is the right to freedom of religion. All the people of the country is free to choose any of the religion, and no one can be forced to choose any of the religion, as it was before that the Britishers, they forced us to choose the religion of their choice. They wanted to make all the people Christian and wanted to propagate their Christianity, and now this time, after getting the right to freedom of religion, all the people can propagate the religion of their choice. Let's discuss more about it.
Article 25 says all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right of freely process, practice and propagate religion subject to public order, morality and health.
The fifth fundamental right is the cultural and educational right. The Constitution states that the minorities, religious and linguistic, can set up their educational institute in order to preserve or develop their own culture. Now we will discuss more about it.
Cultural and educational right that talks about that the elementary education is now a fundamental right of every child.
Our last fundamental right is right to constitutional remedies. It allows its citizens to move to the court if they believe that their fundamental right has been violated by the states of or any of the person, so they can go directly to the court and ask for the judgment that if any of the case they are discriminated on the basis of their caste, religion or gender, or their equality is violated. These rights are the foundation and cornerstone of the democratic way of life. These rights are justifiable and enforced by the courts. These rights help us achieve the goal of democracy and develop our personality.
A secular state has no religion of its own. It does not promote any religion. That's all for this video. See you in the next video with the next chapter. Till then, stay smart, stay safe, stay open.